Today, I'm going to talk about anxious attachment, what it is, how it develops, and how it shows up in our lives and relationships. I'm Jason Silver, the dating coach for ambitious, empathetic women. Please remember to hit the subscribe button so you get notified of all of my future videos. Now let's jump into today's lesson. Anxious attachment is a way of relating to others where we constantly worry that the people we care about might leave us or stop showing their love for us. Anxious attachment often begins as children when we experience caregivers who were sometimes loving and supportive, but other times distant or unavailable. This inconsistency left us uncertain if we could count on love and support when we needed it most. This learned attachment style affects how we form and maintain relationships into adulthood. When we worry about being left or unloved, it can lead to stress, insecurity, and struggles with trust. So, recognizing this pattern gives us the power to begin to break free from it, to build healthier connections, and experience deeper, more fulfilling relationships both with others and also ourselves. It's a key step towards emotional growth and healing. One sign of anxious attachment is a deep fear that the people you care about might leave you. This fear can show up as overthinking or ruminating over every little interaction, like rereading text messages or analyzing another person's tone of voice. This fear often begins in childhood when love felt unpredictable. You learn to stay on high alert, always scanning for signs that someone might leave because your emotional needs were not reliably met. Another sign is constantly seeking reassurance that you're loved. You can ask questions like, "Do you still care about me?" or "Why are you even with me?" You might feel uneasy unless someone directly confirms their affection for you. Now, this reassurance is actually just a temporary relief from that deep-rooted anxiety which comes from the childhood belief that love can disappear at any moment. People with anxious attachment often become people pleasers, prioritizing others' needs above your own to avoid conflict or rejection. Maybe you say yes when you want to say no, or you go out of your way to make someone happy, even at the expense of your own well-being. While growing up, you may have felt that love and approval were conditional, only given when you behaved in ways that pleased your caregiver. People pleasing is a learned survival strategy to avoid losing connections with others you care about. Another sign you have anxious attachment is a strong fear of conflict, which can make you avoid disagreements altogether or not stand up for yourself in arguments just so you keep the peace. For example, you might apologize even when you're not at fault, or keep your true feelings hidden inside to avoid upsetting someone else. If conflict with a caregiver led to them withdrawing affection or punishment, you may have learned that disagreements were dangerous. Now, avoiding conflict feels like the only way to maintain connection and avoid rejection. With anxious attachment, you might often struggle with insecurity, wondering if you're enough for your partner or if your partner really truly loves you. This could show up as jealousy or needing to know where your partner is at all times, or just simply comparing yourself to others. If your early caregivers gave you mixed signals, sometimes they were attentive, other times emotionally unavailable, you might have internalized the belief that you're not worthy of consistent love. This insecurity now drives your need for constant validation. Finally, a sign of anxious attachment is difficulty managing your emotions, especially when it comes to relationships. You might feel overwhelmed by fear, sadness, or anger when something feels off, like a missed text message or an unexpected tone in their voice. These intense emotions can lead to spiraling thoughts or actions, like sending multiple text messages or withdrawing entirely just to protect yourself. If your caregivers didn't help you to understand and soothe your emotions, you may have learned to rely on others for emotional stability, making you more prone to intense reactions when you feel disconnected. If you resonate with these signs, you're not alone. It's estimated around 20% of people have anxious attachment. This pattern can make relationships feel like an emotional roller coaster, filled with highs and lows, worry and relief. The good news is that understanding this pattern is the first step to healing and creating more secure, healthy relationships. To learn more about how you can begin healing from this attachment style, click the link in the description of this video.